Welcome, everybody. Find yourself a really comfortable seat. Maybe you wiggle into it, and maybe you like having something behind your back, or maybe you're more comfortable today lying down. Maybe you want to sit on the floor or a mat. It's all good. Whatever physical position best supports you today. And we'll just arrive in this space. Something might have happened earlier. You might have a lot of thoughts in your head. You might have a lot to do later on today. We're just going to take a big breath in, deep exhale out through the mouth, and put all of those other things on pause just temporarily. And just pay attention to how we feel physically. So notice if there's anywhere in your body that could be a tiny bit more comfortable. Maybe you adjust a little bit to accommodate any of those niggles or any of those little discomforts. And then ask yourself, how do I feel mentally, emotionally today? Is there a feeling that is in my belly or in my chest? Is there a feeling swimming in my head or in my extremities? Acknowledge it. You can name it if it's possible to name. Some emotions come quick and like, oh yeah, I know this one. And some are more vague or more of a combination. And then we acknowledge that no matter what the emotion is, no matter what the physical feeling is, no matter how we are right now, it is all temporary, for better and for worse. Things come and go. All we can do is be the observer, be present, and acknowledge nothing lasts forever. Okay? So I'll invite you to join me in some really gentle stretches. We'll start by tipping one ear to the shoulder, and then slowly turning the head to look towards the hip, feeling the stretch move to a different part of the neck, and then back to the shoulder. And then if you like, you can do that again, slowly rotating to look down towards the hip, letting the shoulders drop, feeling the stretch in the neck, and then back ear to shoulder. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So drop the chin to the chest, lingering here for a moment, feel the stretch down the back side of the neck, maybe in the upper back, let the shoulders drop, and then drop the ear to the opposite shoulder. Hang out here for a breath, and then rotate the head slightly, looking down towards the hip, feeling the stretch in the opposite side of the neck. And then rotating back, ear to shoulder. Take a breath here. And then one more time, looking down towards the hip. And then chin to chest. Moving into a few seated cat-cows. We'll do 3 rounds of cat-cow, looking up towards the ceiling, bringing the collarbones through the shoulders, letting the shoulders come down. And then tucking the tailbone slightly, curving the back, the spine like a Halloween cat. And doing 2 more of those at your own pace. They can be really slow and steady. Or if you feel like you like to move today, you can move. If you're lying down, just work on the hips, adjusting the hips to tip in one direction and the other direction, gently tucking the chin to the chest and coming back to seated. It can be infinitely adaptable. So if you don't look exactly how I look, that's okay. No big deal. And then we'll come back to our nice tall seat and just shrug the shoulders a little bit up towards the ears, bringing a little bit of tension and letting them go. And then we'll bring one arm across, and you can either grab at the wrist if that feels good, or bend at the elbow and hook either beneath the elbow or above the elbow. Some people like to hold for the opposite shoulder and use the opposite hand to kind of pull gently, but pull the shoulder across. So you decide where the stretch feels best in your body. But we're looking to stretch the shoulder. Again, sometimes the shoulder comes up towards the ears and wants to get stuck up there. So we'll just breathe into it. Let it relax. If you're feeling like this is really tough or this feels like it's adding a lot of tension, maybe come out of it a little bit. 80% is always good enough. And if you find that the breathing is belabored or this feels hard or you're waiting to come out of it, then maybe you've gone just a little bit too far. No need to push yourself. And then we'll do one more stretch on this side before we switch sides. This time bringing the arm up overhead and then giving yourself a pat on the back. And this might already feel like a lot or might feel tough. You can also use the opposite hand to gently push on the underside of the arm, not right on the elbow, but underneath. Just giving a little bit of extra stretch, extra support, and breathing here. Again, if the shoulders are creeping up towards the ears, let them relax, let them drop down. And then in your own time, carefully come back up and down, and maybe you like to put a little movement, little chicken arm or little shoulder shrug, and we'll do that exact same sequence on the opposite side. So bring the arm out and across, and again you can grab for the wrist or hook beneath the elbow or hook above the elbow, remembering to relax the shoulder. And if this feels challenging, if this feels, oh my gosh, I can't wait for it to be over, relax a little bit. Let it be easy. 80% is good enough. No need to push yourself all the way. We want to be comfortable in our own body. Acknowledge where we're at today, which might be different from yesterday, and that's fine. No big deal. Be kind to yourself. And then we'll bring that arm up overhead, reaching towards the ceiling, and give yourself a pat on the back. Maybe this is enough, or maybe you use the opposite hand to give yourself a little bit extra. Again, if the shoulders are shrugging up, remember to relax them down. Breathing here. And then slowly in your own time, bring that arm down, and maybe you rotate the shoulder both directions or shrug the shoulder up and down. Whatever feels good in your body, wiggle it out. And then if there are other movements that your body is craving, other actions in your hips or your legs or your ankles, maybe a twist, or maybe your hands feel a little stiff and you want to roll those out, whatever it is, this is your opportunity to ask your body what it needs and then try to give it exactly that. We ask a lot of our bodies, and often we're telling our body just a little bit more, or just a little bit later, or we'll rest later, or we'll do it later. Ask your body what it wants and see if you can say, yeah, now's the time. And when you're ready, when you feel like, all right, I've stretched, I've moved, I can be still. Find yourself a comfortable seat. Put on another layer if you get cold. Put something behind your back if your back would benefit from that. You can close your eyes if you like, or you can find a drishti, a little point of focus, somewhere to rest your gaze. I'm going to do a calming color relaxation today. So we'll visualize all of the colors of the rainbow. Sometimes we do this along the 7 major chakras from up the spine. We can also do this by imagining these colors in our mind. Or if you want to do an open-eyed meditation, you can look around and see if you can find these colors in the space around you. But don't worry if you can't, or don't worry if they're not coming immediately. It's no big deal. Give yourself some grace. So visualizing can be really effective. It allows you to focus your mind on an image, which usually helps keep us in the present moment. If we are focusing very hard on the words, on the colors, on what the visualization is, it's more difficult to ruminate about what's happened in the past or to worry about what's coming up. It allows us to stay right here with our body, with our breath. So if you need to adjust. Notice how you feel. If you need to breathe into anywhere, if you need to lower the shoulders, if you need to unclench the jaw, if you need to spread out the toes, or if the hands have turned into fists, maybe letting the fingers be long and loose. And then notice how your body and your mind feel. Maybe your eyelids are heavy and your eyes are closed. You can let the eyeballs sink into the back of their sockets. We'll take an inhale in and hold it at the top. And then take your time, but when you feel that air hunger, when you feel like you need to breathe, slowly let that breath out, maybe through the mouth, through pursed lips. And then as your breathing returns to normal, notice where you feel it. Where does the breath come in? Where does it go out? And then pay attention to that little tiny pause at the top as your inhale turns into the exhale. And that little tiny pause at the bottom as the exhale turns into the inhale. You don't have to change the breath. We're just noticing. Allow yourself to relax. And then we'll create a picture in our mind of the color red, or look around and find the color red. And this could be any shade of red or all of the shades of red. Maybe it's a red object or a desert landscape, or maybe you're just seeing a whole field, a big block of one color. Maybe there are different items that you associate with the color red. Roses or bricks, apples, the sunset. What's enjoyable? What's lovely about the color red? And we'll breathe into that for a little bit. And then let that red morph into the color orange. If you're doing open eyes, look around and see if you can find something orange. And if your eyes are closed, picture the color orange, all the shades of orange you can choose. There are orange flowers or pumpkins, carrots, the sun. Fill the entire field of your mind's eye with this bright, vibrant color orange. Enjoy the color orange. Find the most beautiful orange. Appreciate its vibrancy, the way it appears in your eye, in your mind. And we'll breathe into the color orange for a minute. And then moving up through the colors, allow that orange to turn into the color yellow. So either look around and find something yellow, or set your imagination on all of the beautiful various shades of yellow, and allow yellow to fill your vision. Lemons, flowers, fall leaves, whatever it is, goldenrod. It could be a more orangey yellow or a more green yellow. There's so many choices. Imagine the endless tones of the color yellow. Maybe you're surrounded by yellow. Let it be calming. Let yellow be enjoyable to you. Immerse yourself and enjoy the color yellow. Then let the yellow go and let it turn into green. If your eyes are open, look around and find a green shade. And if your eyes are closed, fill your imagination with the color green. Endless shades and tones of green. Emeralds, plants, leaves and grass. Imagine being totally surrounded by beautiful green. All of the shades from the lightest, palest seafoam green to the darkest, deepest hunter green, maybe a bright shamrock green, a more subdued sage green. Let it be nourishing. Enjoy the color green. And then let the green turn into the color blue. See in your mind the color blue if your eyes are closed, or look around the space you're in and find something that's a blue shade if your eyes are open. There's so many colors of blue. The water, the sky. Imagine blue filling your vision from the lightest, palest baby blue all the way to the darkest, deepest midnight blue. Enjoy this beautiful color blue and breathe into the blueness. And then with this color blue, let it morph and change. Let it turn into violet. If your eyes are open, look around. Find something that's violet, or if your eyes are closed, allow your imagination to conjure a shade of violet and focus on these multitude of purples, from pale lilac up to a deep, intense dark purple color. Maybe it's flowers that come to mind, or an aubergine, the sunrise. Whatever it is, immerse yourself in the color violet and enjoy the color violet. And then if you've lost the breath, no big deal. Let's return to it. Where's the breath in your body? Notice your breathing. How calm is it? How regular is it? In and out, noticing that little gap at the top where the inhale turns into the exhale, and that tiny gap at the bottom where the exhale turns into the inhale. And then we'll put these colors with the chakras in our body, these energy centers, meditating on the colors, relaxing into the colors once more. And this time we'll start with violet, right between the eyes, the third eye center. And then blue at the throat. Maybe you swallow. Our center of speech, communication. And then green at the heart center. Love, connection. Yellow at the solar plexus. Confidence, intuition. Orange, just beneath the navel. And then finally the root red, coming home to yourself. Was there a color that resonated most with you, or a place in the body where you felt a color more strongly? Bring that picture into your mind. Bring that color to the forefront. Stay relaxed. Stay focused. Stay calm. And take a deep breath in. And a long, slow breath out, maybe through the mouth. And slowly bringing some movement back into your muscles, maybe into the extremities, the hands, the feet, the neck. Taking your time as we come back into the space. And if your eyes are closed, you can open your eyes. Thanks for practicing with me today.